The first time I looked into prospects seriously was in 2015, and this was the start of me really taking this stuff kind of seriously. Not too seriously, but relatively seriously. Seriously enough to give grades and evaluations on it, we'll leave it at that. And over the past 5 years, I have been doing this. I have a grading system that starts at 90 and goes to 99. 90, of course, being the lowest, 99 being the highest, pretty self-explanatory. And of course, meaning the highest grade I give being 99. And only 3 players, or I should say prospects, have been given this grade by me. Markelle Fultz, the first overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft, a guy who really only had one weakness, and that was the fact that he wasn't able to lead Washington to 10 wins. And other than that, he was a new, flawless prospect at a point guard spot. Luka Doncic, the third overall pick in the 2018 NBA draft, who had skills and a feel for the game you look for in a 10-year veteran who happens to be an all-star. And he had this feel and these skills as an 18-year-old. And Zion Williamson, the first overall pick in the 2019 NBA draft, who was physically built to play football in the NFL at like 16. And could dominate the NBA right away, and he proved that. He also had skills that were relatively underrated, and being an elite athlete and having skills that are really good makes you a 99 prospect to me. And while the focus of today's video hasn't even played a single game in college yet, Oklahoma State's Cade Cunningham, as of right now, is the 4th player to ever receive a 99 grade by me. And he's also the best point guard prospect I have ever seen. But before we do start talking about Cade Cunningham, if you're new, like the NBA, high school, college, really like basketball in general, I really think that you would love this channel. So if you aren't already, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I upload on a new daily basis, so liking, subscribing, doing all those things would be a big help to me. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Double Bonus podcast channel. I'll put the link to that in the description as well. It's a new podcast I'm starting with my friend Josh. We will be uploading every Monday and Thursday. We talk about sports and other fun things as well. And I think you would really like that if you like my channel. So go check that out. Link to that in the description as well. But with that being said, let me make it very clear. My grades and evaluations are based off what I see from tape and statistics. Also, if you don't want to take my opinions and my evaluations seriously, then that's okay. I'm just here to voice my opinion about my favorite sport. I'm no expert. I don't claim to be a big-time analyst. I'm just a guy trying to have some fun. And I also just want to give you my thoughts on prospects as well. You don't have to take them seriously. You can agree with what you agree with, base your own evaluations, or agree with other people. It's just not my job to make you agree with me. It's just my thoughts. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to agree or disagree. But when it comes to Cade Cunningham, it's very clear that I'm a big fan. I have made 2 videos on him already, and I have name dropped him in multiple videos. But when I say he's the best point guard prospect I have ever seen, I mean it. And of course, that starts with his size. To give you some context, one of the big things with me and the fact that what I believe that Markelle Fultz was the best point guard prospect I have ever seen, this was of course till Cade came along, was the fact that he was able to play point guard and shooting guard. Now with Cade being 6 foot 7 inches, allegedly 6 foot 8 inches and 215 pounds, he has the size not only to play the point guard, but the shooting guard and the small forward. Also, this isn't a case like RJ Barrett where he has some good passing skills and can be a main ball handler at times, but is really just a shooting guard small forward. Cade can legit play point guard, but he can also just play other positions if needed, but he can be a true point guard. During the regular season at Montverde Academy, he averaged 13.9 points per game, 4.2 rebounds per game, and 6.4 assists per game. This was in just 22.9 minutes per game because Montverde was so loaded, and that might be the best high school basketball team I've ever seen. Because per 36, that's 22.7 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game, and 10.4 assists per game. He also just has a natural feel for the game, and it was evident when he was in the EYBL circuit playing other top competition. And it just looks so easy for him. He averaged 25.1 points a game, 6.6 rebounds a game, and 5.2 assists per game for the Texas Titans on the EYBL circuit last year. And then when it comes to his skills as a playmaker, he's one of the best I've ever seen. He sets up his teammates well, he has great vision in transition, and can throw difficult passes really accurately. The fact that he is this advanced as a passer and playmaker despite only playing point guard for 2 years now, I can only imagine what he's going to be as a playmaker by the time he enters the NBA. He has a very good handle as well. It's not a flashy handle. It's nothing like Trae Young or Kyrie Irving. It's a much more smooth, fluid handle. We see with guys like Markelle Fultz and Paul George. It's more that kind of handle than it is the Trae Young, Kyrie Irving kind of handle. He does make bad decisions at times, and that's to be expected from a player this young, especially at the point guard spot, which is easily the hardest position to play in my opinion. And it isn't big enough though to call a weakness in his game. Defensively, doesn't have great lateral quickness, so he can struggle against quicker guards. But overall, I think he will be a solid defender at the next level. He's far from a liability, that's what I'll say. He can be an above average defender, and he's shown he can be an above average defender. And he makes up for his lack of lateral quickness with the fact that he has great size and strength for the position. But if there's one area where he does need to improve the most, it's as a shooter. This is not to say that Cade is a bad shooter necessarily, or isn't willing to shoot. He did shoot 35% on the EYBL circuit on 3-point attempts this year. And it's not that, again, he's not bad, but he needs to improve. Because there are other signs of like a bit of a red flag with his 3-point shooting, especially in the U19 FIBA World Cup, where he shot just 1 for 14 over those games from 3. And then in 7 games at the NBPA Top 100 camp last year, he shot 0 for 6 from 3 in 7 games. So that is a bit of a concern. It doesn't seem to be because of a lack of mechanics or ability. It has more to do with shot selection and being passive at times. I do think that aggressiveness is his biggest weakness. He isn't always aggressive at times. Does struggle to finish at the rim as well from time to time. I do think this has a lot to do with the fact that he's a bit more cautious because of an injury he suffered going up for a dunk. So I do think that is something mentally going on, but the other times he just looks amazing finishing at the rim as well. So again, he showed he was a very capable scorer on the EYBL circuit, and he even showed that on food because of the stats he was able to put up despite being on such a loaded roster, not playing big time minutes. And he shows signs of being this high level scorer, and he's very capable of creating his own shot off the dribble and has a great touch around the rim. But out of all the things in his game, he will need to improve on it. This is the thing he needs to improve on the most. I think at worst, he's a 13 to 15 point per game scorer. At his best, I think he'd be a 25 plus point per game scorer. And what makes Cade a generation talent for me is 3 things. First, the fact that he seems to be in his own tier compared to the rest of the class. And that says a lot because the 2021 NBA draft looks to be one of the most loaded classes in recent memory. Second, I just don't see him not finding success in the NBA at some point. Like, at worst, he's 13-5-5 to me. Like, play for a long time. And it's just hard for me to believe that teams will take players on to be primary playmakers just based off the fact that they have half of the playmaking skills that Cade has. So again, it's just hard for me to see players who aren't as good as playmakers get contracts just based off their playmaking, and see a guy who has more than double their playmaking skills not succeed. And third and finally, if he reaches his full potential, not only do I think he will be one of the best players in the league, but I also think he will be one of the best players the game has ever seen. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. It means so much to me, guys. You guys don't understand. But again, thank you. Like and subscribe if you're new. Feel free to leave feedback in the comments section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.